welcome to the Total Soccer Show's Weekender. It's the show that sends you off into the weekend with some big match previews, listener game recommendations, and a big fat quiz. My name's Ryan Bailey. Joining me today, it's the guy who's going to do that big fat quiz later on. Hello, Taylor Rockwell.
Hello, Ryan Bailey. Are you body shaming my quiz?
No, I'm saying it's tender and packed with goodness.
Is Mr. Blobby going to be on this quiz?
Oh, I hope so.
I
hope so.
Having missed that episode, the Discord and like corresponding posts has been completely confusing and fascinating to me in equal measure.
So, Taylor, we decided, we being Ryan and I, the Brits, decided to try and explain Mr. Blobby to Joe / America.
And he's the King of England. We get it.
I don't know how good a job we did, but the Discord picked this up, and there is a video clip of Mr. Blobby on the Big Fat Quiz of the Year in the UK, and it's hilarious. Complete chaos, but hilarious. So I hope he's going to be in this episode.
He's got those big blobby fingers, right? That's the King of England's whole thing, isn't it? So they must be the same person.
They're both agents of chaos, Joe, yes.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Just seeing those posts in there of like, that is a disguise that the clown would wear, like to terrify children. I don't know how that was allowed.
It was a much more upsetting visual than I imagined at the time. I'll just put it that way.
At least he's got plague spots. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
He lives in Crickley Bottom. They have a bit of an epidemic there. That's a serious place that he lives in. Or maybe it's
super
not
serious. Oh, it's serious.
Either way, if you'd like to learn more about Mr. Blobby or some soccer stuff, you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/Total Soccer Show, where you'll get all the extra episodes, bonus video content, Mr. Blobby explainers, and access to the aforementioned Discord server. All the cool kids hanging out there. Blobby. Patreon.com/Total Soccer Show. Let's get to our match previews for this coming weekend. Hey, Taylor. What you looking forward to?
I think Napoli, Inter. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, that felt like, honestly, I'm going to be candid here. That felt like one that had to be mentioned because it's two of the best teams in Serie A. It's first versus third. Inter in incredibly good form. Napoli in less good form. A lot of that due to injury. But it feels like for Inter, it's another opportunity to prove that they're the best team in the league and kind of keep that run going. And for Napoli, I think they need that win to show that they are still in the title race because that gap gets very big if they don't get the win. But they're going to be missing Lukaku, likely Billy Gilmore, likely Anguissa, Kevin De Bruyne. To name just a few, there will be several other more missing for them. So it's a really tricky one for Napoli, and I think also the pressure is on simultaneously. But at the same time, that does not really guarantee us a ton of goals in an exciting back-and-forth match. It feels like, if anything, that more so solidifies the likelihood that it will be a very cagey affair, but still an affair worth watching.
A cagey affair worth watching on Sunday at 2:45 Eastern on Paramount. As you say, Taylor, Napoli are 4 points behind in the Serie A table at the moment, and that gap will it'll go to 7 points if Inter win. That's just how math works. I'm not going to lie.
This guy's good. This guy's good. I'll give him that. I think if there's a team in Serie A, because I kind of made a tongue-in-cheek joke about the Milan and Juve games of the weekend on the Weekend Review, where Graham watched high-flying matches with Barcelona and Real Madrid, and I watched relatively stingy affairs with those two clubs. If there's a team in Serie A to watch for entertainment, I think Inter is a great shout, and I don't think that will surprise regular listeners of this program. They're the best team in Serie A, man. They've got the best expected goal differential. They're tops in non-penalty expected goals created so far this season. They're a fun team. Even with the managerial shift, it hasn't really impacted how they play out of that 3-5-2. There's fluidity. Bastoni is one of the most entertaining soccer players on the planet. I think you could do a whole lot worse this weekend than watching Inter, even if Taylor's not quite so convinced.
Very good. All right, that's your Sunday 2:45 slot Eastern taken care of. Hey, Graham, what are you thinking about?
So the AFCON quarterfinals, they start on Friday, and I think every game has the potential to be a banger. So we've got Mali v Senegal and Cameroon versus Morocco on Friday, and then Algeria versus Nigeria. Yes, that's correct. Algeria versus Nigeria and Egypt, Ivory Coast on the Saturday. For me, I mean, as I say, you could watch any of those games, and I think they'd be entertaining. The standout, though, is Cameroon-Morocco on Friday, on today. We're definitely recording on Friday. We spoke about this on Monday's Week in Review Extra, but Cameroon, for me anyway, have been the story of this AFCON so far. They entered the tournament in complete chaos with the Eto'o presidential election and then the situation where two different
rosters.
people argued. Yeah, that's right, including
Ryan
Ryan's roster. Yeah, two different rosters for this tournament and then Ryan's roster. So to go from that chaos, which was like a week before the tournament, to then being arguably the most coherent unit at this tournament so far has been pretty remarkable. Kofan has the 19-year-old centre forward. He's been one of the breakthrough players of this tournament. He scored a very nice headed goal in the last round against South Africa. I think Carlos Baliba is in the discussion for player of the tournament. He's been like a ball-winning machine in the middle of the pitch. Hasn't quite happened for Mbeumo yet, but he is like getting into good areas, and I bet there will be a big moment from him before this tournament is over. And then, of course, on the other side, you've got the hosts, Morocco, who I have caught a few times. Haven't been all that impressed with them so far. They've won 3 of their 4 games, drew the other one against Mali. They were comprehensive against Zambia, really put them to the sword. But the other games against Comoros, Mali and Tanzania, been quite stodgy in those matches. Now, Achraf Hakimi, he's finally back. He started for the first time in the last round against Tanzania. I guess, or at least I hope, because I want Morocco to be more entertaining, I hope that might make a difference for them, because they're going to come up against teams now who have got more ability and more ambition and will be able to kind of draw Morocco out. And so I'm hopeful there'll be more space for them to attack in the final third. That's where Hakimi comes in. Brahim Diaz, he has been the standout player for them so far. He's scored in every single game that they've played. And that kind of backs up my theory I had about Morocco, where I think they are a better team, despite the fact we haven't really seen it at this tournament. I think they're a better team than they were in 2022 because they've got players like Brahim who can do something when they're up against a low defensive block. Because I don't know if previously Morocco win those games. They now have that player. And I think this could be a really fascinating match that I think will suit. I think the tactical matchup will suit Morocco. I kind of wish these two teams were meeting each other in like the semi-finals or maybe even the final. But I'm kind of leaning towards the hosts making the next round. I think this is the game I'm looking forward to watching this game more than any of the others.
Very nice. That one, of course, today at 2 Eastern. You can catch that on beIN Sports. If you're listening to this before that game has kicked off, of course, which we hope you are. Hey, Joe, what are you feeling this weekend?
I'm feeling so many different ways, but I am feeling Gladbach versus Augsburg. This is Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, okay, 12th versus 15th in the Bundesliga. I see your quizzical stares, but it's also Gio and Joe versus Noki Banks. Gio Reyna, Joe Scally taking on Noah Kai Banks. We're going to see those guys play in this game. So if you're a USMNT fan, I think this is the game of the weekend for you. The Bundesliga is back. Finally, we waited. It's finally here. I can only imagine how we're going to feel about MLS coming back after its 18th month of its winter break. But we've got the Bundesliga back, and this is a game that you're going to get to see a trio of USMNT players. Gio Reyna has started 4 games in a row for Borussia Mönchengladbach heading into the break. He's had the break to continue gaining fitness. I don't believe he played more than 70 minutes in any of those games. So he has come off every single time he started, which is not a surprise because he's a perpetual injury. But he is a very, very good bet to start in this game. Joe Scally, we know, is a regular starter for Gladbach. And Noki Banks is as well. He started the last 10 Bundesliga games for Augsburg. He is the guy, even amidst coaching turmoil at Augsburg. He is a regular for them and has continued to look savvier as the season has gone on. He also recently has like emphasized the American flag in his bio. So even if Poch isn't going to call him in for the World Cup, we've got him, boys. That dual national ain't no problem. I think Banks is still an incredibly talented player, as is Gio Reyna, of course. Folks will not be surprised to hear that I'm a little bit lower on Joe Scally. But this is a good game to watch for USMNT research purposes, if that is your thing. Plus, there are some legit relegation questions swirling around Augsburg right now, which matters a lot also for Noki Banks and his future. They're only 3 points out of the automatic relegation places as the bottom 2 in the Bundesliga. That is something to monitor. Gladbach are only a couple of points ahead of Augsburg, so they're not totally out of the woods either. But this is a game that matters not just for those USMNTers, but also for the literal future of these clubs as well.
Very nice. That one, Sunday, 9:30 Eastern on ESPN Select. I still have beef with ESPN Select as a renaming of ESPN Plus. It makes it sound like a worse version of ESPN, which I suppose it is. So maybe that's why they did it.
Interesting. Yeah, probably. I think they should just call it Max. That's open, right? Someone should swoop in for that.
Yeah. That's still open as of this recording. But that is a fluid situation, I believe, Joe. Very good stuff. So, the game I'm looking forward to this weekend, by the way, is the weekend in England where proper football men rub their hands together because it is the FA Cup third round. It's the post-Christmas round of games where you're hoping for a small bad team to maybe beat a big good team. That's all we're hoping for this weekend in the FA Cup.
That is the best description of a cup competition I've ever heard. That is fantastic.
Well, it's particularly this round. It's the third round where all the big Premier League teams come in. So it's kind of where you're hoping for one or two giant killings. It doesn't always happen, but I think, Joe, I have selected a game where it could happen. Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern on the aforementioned ESPN Max, you can get Charlton versus Chelsea. That's Charlton Athletic taking on Chelsea. This is, by the way, for narrative fans of me, the closest club to where I grew up, Charlton, against the closest club to the one I support, AFC Wimbledon. They're both London clubs, of course. Charlton are in the Championship. They've been up and down through the league, should we say, in the past few years. They were a Premier League team not that long ago. It was quite a bit of years ago, to be fair.
Whatever you got to tell yourself, Ryan. Whatever you got to tell yourself.
Yeah, it feels not that long ago.
20 years ago, it was 2006.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't even the 90s 20 years ago, which is wild.
Oh boy. Well, Charlton these days, they are 19th in the Champo, not doing too well this season. But we do have an American interest in this game, kind of, because we all know Charlie Kelman, of course. The US under 18.
Do you know him? We all know Charlie Kelman. Yes,
Charles Kelman.
Yes,
of the Kelmans.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Played in the FC Dallas setup when he was a lad. He was born in Essex, though, of course. He's ostensibly British, but he came over when he was a youngster to play in the Dallas setup. He qualified for US representation. He's got 4 goals this season. He's Charlton's second highest scorer. Yeah. So they're not in good form. They've one win.
Something.
Yeah. Exactly, and they have 1 win in their last 11 league games. Do Charlton as well. Chelsea are favourites. They're plus 650 favourites. I would have thought for the disparity between these two teams, there will be longer odds between these two teams. But here you are. Maybe that's buying into the fact that I think there could be an upset in here. Because for Chelsea, this is Liam Rosenior's debut.
No, that's wrong.
Did I get it? Rosenoir.
Rosenior.
Yes.
That guy's debut.
Never going to get this.
That's it, yeah.
As we mentioned on the bulletin yesterday, he didn't manage Chelsea in the loss to Fulham on Wednesday. This should be his debut down at Charlton. He's likely, I'd imagine, Chelsea are going to rest a few players and do a bit of rotation here. I think, though, this could be an upset. Chelsea were and have been pretty chaotic lately. See that game against Fulham earlier this week. They have 1 win from their past 9 league games as well. I'm feeling like there is potential for upset with the rotation, with the new coach. And also, maybe it's a bit anecdotal, like the last time I watched Chelsea in person was when they played AFC Wimbledon in the League Cup in 2023. And Wimbledon, who were a League 2 team at that point, took Chelsea to the wire. It required Chelsea bringing on World Cup winner Enzo Fernandez to seal the game for them. Madueke played in that game. He was awesome as well, for the record. But I think this, of all the games we've got in the FA Cup this coming weekend, could be the one where we're pushed to, we get a draw and we're pushed for a replay. They do replays in the third round still? They do, don't they? They do. I'm pretty sure it's the later rounds where they don't anymore. Or we get a Charlton home win. What say you, Graham?
Yeah, potentially on the cards. I think this might be a sort of like vibesy intangible point. Do a lot of, I don't know, do Chelsea's players have the stomach for like a kind of third round? Like, I just think Alejandro Garnacho in particular is turning up to Charlton and going, yeah, nah, this is not for me. I just think there's a few Chelsea players
That's
like that.
different than usual?
Yeah, that's a fair point. So I think, yeah, that's definitely one that's on the upset radar. How about Portsmouth Arsenal? Are Arsenal just too good for any kind of upset there? Keep in mind, Liverpool got dumped out by Plymouth. What was that, last season when they were top of the Premier League?
A replay feels on the table there. Like I don't think Arsenal will lose, but you never know.
Yeah, I just think that's like quintessential FA Cup third round fare. Like Fratton Park. Like Arsenal are not playing. You know the guy with the rattle? Do you remember the guy with the rattle? Like that's the most annoying thing watching the TV.
Mr. Portsmouth.
Mr. Portsmouth, yeah. Does he have the rattle or is it someone else?
I think it's him. He changed his name to like John Portsmouth or something, right?
Yeah,
is he related to Mr.
Tattoos.
Blobby?
Yeah, he could be.
Okay.
Similar sort of costume.
He's in the Blobby universe, the NBA.
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge.
That is huge, yeah. So I don't know, Portsmouth Arsenal is on my radar, and the other one, just looking very quickly through the fixtures, surely Wrexham Nottingham Forest is ripe for an upset there. Wrexham, I think, are in decent form at the moment, coming into the playoff places in the Championship, and obviously Forest are down near the bottom and kind of struggling in the Premier League. And Wrexham are at home, so would not surprise me if America's team makes the fourth round there.
I like that. I look forward to finding out the result of that in a year on Hulu. Excellent.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, that'll be the first we learn of that one. All right, very good. Those are the games we're looking forward to, dear listener. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're digging into our Discord to find the games you want to see. Join us then. Total Soccer Show, welcome back to the Weekender. We dig now into our Discord, patreon.com/Total Soccer Show, if you would like to join in the fun there. We've got a few game recommendations from you guys, starting with John Adams, in brackets, not that one, who says, as a Spurs fan, given the game that just ended, I presume he's talking about Spurs' most recent loss to Bournemouth, and gesturing to the Spurs seasons, looking forward to watching Spurs versus Villa this Saturday at 12:45, ESPN Max. Is this the biggest FA Cup game of the weekend?
It kind of put me on the spot there a little bit because there's just so many of them. But yeah, it's surely got to be the biggest.
Right?
Like there's not like a Manchester United, Arsenal, or a City, Liverpool, or anything. So yeah, this has got to be not necessarily the best quality because I think Villa were really quite poor midweek as well. So I don't know how good the game's going to be. But yes, in terms of clubs, surely the biggest.
I've got Port Vale Fleetwood. Sorry, that's far bigger.
MK Dons, Oxford United. Yeah,
Macclesfield versus Crystal. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better.
Boreham Wood, Burton Albion.
I hate the FA Cup.
Wow, Taylor also hates the U.S. Open Cup. Taylor wants to kill the cup.
Wow.
You're not meant to say that.
I just hear the faux enthusiasm for this. Not even from you all, but from other people. Just like FA Cup weekend, who's exciting? And I'm just like, no, it's worse than an international break. That's what I say.
It's crazy that Taylor was advocating and helped with the original launch of the Super League. Wow, that's all been revealed just now.
It's a good idea.
Take your medicine, Taylor. Watch the FA Cup.
All right, fine.
Yeah,
but not Villa Spurs, mainly because Spurs are so bad. Did anyone see Thomas Frank's Arsenal cup that he was drinking out of after that game?
What?
Yeah. So I think I put a picture of this in our Slack, but I guess no one really knew what it was about.
Ignore
it was either before, during, or after the defeat to Bournemouth, and he's drinking out of like a little coffee cup, like a takeaway coffee cup. For whatever reason, it was an Arsenal coffee cup at Bournemouth Spurs.
That's bad.
If anyone has an explanation for that.
Yeah. Let me explain something that Graham just said to the listener. Graham put in our Slack with no context a picture of Thomas Frank holding this cup where the entire thing is completely covered. It's just a cup.
Yeah.
It's a gray cup. You can see no logo,
It's been
no
such
imagery.
a big talking point.
And Graham's caption is, he knew what he saw.
And it's a terrible.
None of it made any sense, Graham. I didn't know what. Apologies. I didn't know what to say.
It's the guy behind him, the Spurs member of staff, who's clearly seen the cup.
It's just a cup in the picture that you sent, Graham. That's
It's been such a big talking point. But apparently, he was asked about it, and apparently he just picked it up, and he didn't know it had an Arsenal.
Oh dear.
But
Oh dear. Is that why he's got that insane Willem Dafoe look on his face while he's holding the cup? Maybe it's
he always has that.
Influenced by that. Who out of Spurs and Villa should take the FA Cup more seriously? Spurs, right? At this point. Do we think?
Surely it has to be. Villa have much, much, much more important things to do.
Yeah, with Villa, it's like if you lose that game, it's like, that's fine. It was a distraction. We want to focus on top four and everything else. With Spurs, it's much more like, wow, we can't even win this? Wow, that's no good. I'm really into Weston Supermare, though. That's the team that I'm hoping has a good one this weekend.
Any team with
good
super in
beach
its
there.
title's good, yeah.
I mean, sorry, I did not intend to interrupt the beach discussion or whatever it was that Taylor just said, but I suppose I've already done so I'll continue. Basically, no matter what happens for Aston Villa, barring a disaster where they end up outside of any European places, this season's been a success, right? I mean, if they don't need to win the FA Cup, they're not going to win the Premier League. They don't necessarily do they need to finish in the Champions League spots for this year to be a success, or will the ride be enough? To me, it feels like this year is basically going to be a hit no matter what happens from this point on.
I think a lot depends on if Emery stays, because he's one who's linked with a couple different vacancies, notably the Manchester United one. I don't know why he would leave for that one, but if you miss Champions League and he leaves, and you have the kind of budget they do where PSR things are kind of tight, maybe not. But yeah, I take your point, Joe. I think it's a lot of ifs and conditionals before you get to it being a bad season.
Indeed. All right, Spurs Villa once again Saturday at 12:45 Eastern on ESPN Max. Andrew in our Discord is looking forward to Algeria against Nigeria in AFCON quarterfinals. The semi-final spot on the line, says Andrew, and two teams that can be explosive going forward. Graham, you've covered the AFCON excitement for this weekend, and it continues.
Yeah, I caught Nigeria's game against Mozambique the other night, and it just made me sad that Nigeria aren't going to be at the World Cup, because Andrew's absolutely right. That forward line is frightening. Victor Osimhen has come to play at this tournament. He looks excellent, as he does most of the time. And then Adams, who plays for Sevilla, I've forgotten his first name momentarily. Akor Adams, of course. Adamo Lookman as well as in that front line. Then you've got Alex Iwobi, who plays in like central midfield for this Nigeria team. So, they're stacked with talent. How they missed out on the World Cup is quite baffling because they've got such good players.
What was the thing with Osimhen wanting to be subbed? Did you see that? Because that's one that I'm like.
He was holding an Arsenal Cup. There was a problem.
That was the
right, but it was completely covered and impossible to tell it was an Arsenal Cup.
He apparently got very mad. I forget which teammate it was that like 2 or 3 times decided to shoot when Osimhen was open, and I think at that point it was already like 3-0. But he gets so frustrated. He's like screaming at the teammate. And then I think other players have to come over and try to calm him down, and it doesn't really go well. And I think he ultimately asks to be substituted. I think that's why he's off in the 68th.
So he has a heated confrontation with teammate. I have to admit, I guess I was second screening this one. Kind of missed this. He had a heated confrontation with teammate Adamo Lookman, which that figures. Lookman seems to fall out with everyone, including his own club. And Osimhen had an on-field meltdown that cast a shadow. I'm obviously reading from an article. Cast a shadow.
No, it sounds like your voice, Graham.
Yeah, was that AI?
Authentically, yeah.
So yeah, I guess I missed that, but I mean he's going to be back, and both of those players are going to start this game because they're so good, and Nigeria need them. So.
There we go. You can catch that one Saturday 11 Eastern on the beIN Sports. Back to ESPN Max, where AJ is looking forward to watching Fulham against Middlesbrough in the FA Cup. It will be a good test for the Champo side that's pushing towards promotion to play a mid-table Premier League team with the January window open. That one Saturday at 10 Eastern. Fulham obviously getting the win over Chelsea this midweek as well. So
plus a little Aiden Morris in there as well, which I know AJ is interested in. Somebody who's probably not going to make the World Cup roster, but still another USMNT research assignment if anybody wants it.
Indeed. And still Riley McGree, the MLS player that never was.
So true.
So true, indeed. Fulham, Middlesbrough.
Fulham are flying under the radar this season. It kind of caught my attention a couple of weeks ago where they are really within, I guess everyone's within touching distance of the top 5 in the Premier League table at the moment, but they are, where are they? They're 2 points behind Brentford in 5th. It's what a bizarre season this is. Is everyone good or everyone bad? I'm kind of leaning towards the latter the further we get into the season.
It's both. Fulham have got a couple of players who've really outshone themselves, like Josh King and Harry Wilson and a few others, right? Who just
Harry Wilson's in the form of his life
good
right now.
Yeah, there you go. And perhaps he will be this weekend. Discord Stu comes in with a Bundesliga game. Bundesliga is back, baby, says Discord Stu. Dortmund v Frankfurt is going to kick off on Friday, kick off the return of the Bundesliga, that is. Also, says Stu, Leverkusen versus Stuttgart should be good. 3rd place side taking on a 6th place side with only 3 points between them. The Eintracht Dortmund game, that will kick off the Rückrunde at 2:30 Eastern today, and Leverkusen Stuttgart at 12:30 Eastern on Saturday. Taylor, are you looking forward to the return of the Bully?
I am. I've enjoyed having fewer games to have to watch and cover and leagues to pay attention to, but I'm enjoying like having the familiarity with the Bundesliga this season and seeing kind of who's doing what and who is developing form and who is developing form for next season. Leverkusen would maybe be the second in that category, but I think that they've kind of played themselves into good form going up against that Stuttgart team who can be very, very tricky. I'm excited for that one.
As am I. Excellent stuff.
And Gladbach, Augsburg, Joe. I got you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, whenever you can have a team that is in terrible form versus another team that's in terrible form, both of whom have like sacked managers and don't really play effectively soccer, you got to.
Taylor, which is it? Are you a Joe Scally's #1 fan or not? I don't understand. I can't remember where we've left it these days.
I'm Joe Scally's #1 fan, and I'm Gio Reyna's number 4,000 fan, I believe.
Got it.
Taylor, I realize you've also just described my Charlton-Chelsea pick there as well. But hey, fun times.
Yeah, but it's the magic of the cup, Ryan.
Sprinkled with magic dust makes it all better. Argyle on our Discord is looking forward to Celtic versus Dundee United. It might be very revealing about the whole Wilfred Nancy situation, says Argyle. Plus, there's the Martin O'Neill comeback, which seems absolutely crazy. Could be massive for the title race too. Probably sound like a broken record here, says Argyle, but it must be fascinating. It must be fascinating for the neutral and everyone else involved in this one. Also, this whole weekend is a big title race. Is big for the title race in Scotland, Graham.
Yeah, I mean, every weekend at the moment seems to be really, really important in the context of the wider season. Celtic now third in the table because Rangers won during the week and they're now up into second place. And I never saw that one coming when Russell Martin was burning Ibrox to the ground. But it seems like Wilfred Nancy did a quicker job of burning Celtic Park to the ground. So, Martin O'Neill coming back in for his second interim spell this season. Beat that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yay!
And I believe his first interim spell was longer than Wilfred Nancy's very much not interim spell as permanent manager. So, look, I am going to be paying attention to the Celtic game this weekend because I kind of do wonder how much damage has been done in the last month or so, whether that's down to Wilfred Nancy or not, and whether Martin O'Neill will be able to pick up where he left off, which was a very positive position. Another thing to mention about the Scottish Premiership is, and this was the kind of subject of my newsletter this week, there is kind of a fourth horse in this title race. Now, I think they're very much a fourth horse. It wouldn't surprise me if they fell away rather quickly over the next few weeks. Motherwell are right up there, and this is a Motherwell team that played Wilfred Nancy's Celtic team off the pitch a couple of weeks ago, and they are getting better and better as the season goes on. They're in incredible form. Jens Bertolascu is their manager. I have such a high opinion of him that it would not surprise me if the Brentfords and the Brightons of this world are looking at him. Keep in mind, Brighton got Hurtzler from the German second tier. They will look to kind of obscure places. So yeah, that's a name to keep in mind. Jens Bertolascu, I think he's done an outstanding job at Motherwell. So they're away to Hibs, who are two of the better football playing teams in the Scottish Premiership this season. And Stirling Albion are playing in Edinburgh. If their game gets postponed, my plan is to go to that game. So I'm either getting a very entertaining Scottish Premiership team involving two good teams, or I'm getting Edinburgh City versus Stirling Albion. And the sickle in me wants the latter. But there we go.
Graham, at what point in the timeline do we find out that Martin O'Neill actually wanted to manage the whole season? He just wanted a month off for Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, Wilfred Nancy as well. I'm sure he can just lean into that when he returns to MLS for the start of the 2026 season. I just had winter off, guys.
All part of the plan. Part of the plan. Very good indeed. One more game to mention from our Discord. Gundal is looking forward to Bayern Wolfsburg. But is really looking forward to all Bundesliga matches, says Gundal. I've been incredibly bored for nearly 3 weeks without the Bundesliga. You can see Bayern Munich 4, Wolfsburg 0 on Sunday at 11:30 Eastern on ESPN Select/Max. Good to have those Harry Kane goals back for another weekend. Wonderful stuff. Cool.
Indeed.
All right. That is your games you're looking forward to see. If you'd like to join our Discord one more time, patreon.com/Total Soccer Show. We go to a quick break now. When we come back, quiz. Total Soccer Show. Hey, welcome back to the Weekender. It's that time of the week where we turn our attention to Mr. Taylor Rockingwell, who has some quiz questions for us. Let's go, Taylor.
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to have some quiz questions. And Ryan, after your frustration with a lack of specifically soccer questions. We've gone very specifically soccer this week. We have questions about the FA Cup. We've got questions about managerial tenures, given that everybody is being sacked and replaced. We're going to start with the FA Cup. Here we go.
Graham, you can't start typing the question yet. Come on.
Yeah, right?
You say that every time.
This is one where you're going to get hints as we go, so each of you has one guess per question and hint, okay? There are 9 clubs who have won the FA Cup 6 or more times. 8 play in the Premier League. 1 does not. Which club is 9th on the list for most FA Cup wins? Who do not play in the Premier League right now?
Ryan.
Yes, Ryan.
Preston?
All right, next hint. They still exist and currently play in the Championship.
Ryan.
Yes, Ryan.
Sheffield Wednesday?
Keep it going, though. I like this. It's a good strategy. It's a cake boss strategy, and I like it.
Cake boss strategy.
Cake boss. They won their first FA Cup in 1884, which is slightly before Joe's time. But their most recent one is in 1928, which is also still before Joe's time.
Jeez. Graham.
Yes, Graham.
Wrexham?
Ryan.
Yes, Ryan.
Blackburn?
Correct. Ryan
well
Bailey
done.
gets the point. Your final one was going to be, what should you never call Marty McFly? Because they're owned by Venky's, who are chicken.
Nice.
Right? That's the whole thing. There we go.
Nice.
Joe, you got that, right?
Yeah, I'm right there.
6 6 wins for Blackburn. That puts them 9th on the list. So Blackburn have won it 6 times. So too has Newcastle, Man City, and Villa. Each have 7 FA Cups to their name. The same as this player who retired in 2019. I'll leave it there. No, I won't. Prior to his retirement, he spent 3 years with the LA Galaxy.
Graham.
Yes, Graham.
3 years with the LA Galaxy. Oh, no. I'm struggling now.
3
Robbie
seasons.
Keane? Not Robbie Keane.
Joe,
yeah, he
ding,
spent more than 3.
Buzz,
Yes, Joe.
Ashley Cole.
That is correct. Ashley Cole. Man, yeah, he's won it 7 times between Arsenal and Chelsea. A good number of wins for Ashley Cole and a good point for Joe. So we've got 1 point for Joe, 1 point for Ryan. Graham, pointless. Lots of current coaches have won the FA Cup as players. But I believe only one of those coaches, I hope only one of those coaches, is currently working in Major League Soccer. Who is that coach who won the FA Cup as a player?
Joe, Buzz.
Yes, Joe.
Phil Neville.
That is correct.
Nice.
Joe on the board again. He won it 3 times. His first in 1996, his last in 2004.
Is this an MLS quiz or an FA Cup quiz?
Let's go.
Wow, there's the bitterness.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
the bitterness.
Wine away, Ryan. Wine away.
All right. We have 3 questions left. It's a briefer quiz this week. Les Reed held the record for shortest permanent managerial tenure in the Premier League from 2006 until 2023. Reed was in charge of Charlton, the aforementioned, for a whopping total of 40 days. 2 other managers have had shorter stints, though for very different reasons. First question, who has the second shortest tenure in Premier League history?
Second
leave it there.
shortest.
Yes, Graham.
Big Ange.
Big Edge is correct. He managed it this season. 39 days in charge of Nottingham Forest. Your second question, you can all go whenever you want to here. The manager with the shortest tenure, and this has a slight asterisk around it, would be Big Sam. How many days was he in charge of Leeds in 2023? This is another one. I think I mentioned this on I can't remember if it was the Bulletin or the Weekender, but like I was sure he managed Leeds in like 2019. And
No,
to
it's
realize
much
it
more
was
recent than
2023. Yeah,
Joe,
no, it's
Buzz.
2023. I was just like, that can't be right. Yeah. Oh, no,
Joe,
we're not
Buzz.
buzzing. We're all getting a guess here. So
okay.
each of you gets to guess how many days it was. So, but Joe, you can go first.
I'll go last if that's okay.
Okay. Ryan, you'll go first since you were petty.
77.
Wait, hold
Okay,
on.
Ryan wasn't
No,
listening. Go ahead, Graham.
no, we'll leave
Final
it there.
answer.
77 is fine. 77. I'll go 32.
I want everybody to know that I'm not going to say 31 because I am a sportsman-like competitor, but I could. Instead, I'm going to say 6 days.
Oh,
Still,
can I change my guess?
Still
No.
roughly the same.
No,
But Joe
no,
gets
if I
the
went
point.
31, I had everything from 31 down, and I would have boxed Graham out, and Graham only would have, like,
This is
what,
true.
32 to
This is
38.
true.
So I could have done that, and I decided not to because I'm a
Wait,
gentleman.
are we
and a
going
scholar.
closest without going over?
No, just closest to, right?
Oh, okay, then Graham gets it. Graham, congratulations.
Yes!
Because it is 30 days
Well
for Big
done,
Sam.
Graham.
Which is the confusing one because he was like basically brought in permanently, quote unquote, but to see out the season. And I think he's brought in May, and then they let him go because, no thank you.
That was the lead season they went. Where did they go? Bielsa? No, Bielsa was the previous season, but in the one season it was Marsh, Gavi Garcia, and then Big Sam.
Heritage.
Going from Marshall to Big Sam in like a month. Whoa, what a strategy.
I might have to find a tiebreaker on the fly. Here's your final question. Big Ange and Big Sam, pattern there, pale in comparison to this record holder. I think he's the record holder. I couldn't find anything that contradicted that. Who has the shortest tenure of any manager in any of Europe's top 5 leagues since 1995?
It's going to be a complete unknown that we've never heard of, surely.
Hint, he is still managing.
Oh, maybe not then.
Any guesses?
Graham.
Yes, Graham.
Bielsa.
You just said it.
Oh,
it's
well
Marcelo
done.
Bielsa with Lazio. 2 days. 2 days at Lazio.
I knew it was
Didn't
gonna be
even manage
Italian.
a game. So that puts Graham and Joe tied, right?
Yeah, I have 2.
I'm on 3.
And-
I've got 3. I
No,
got Big
no,
Ange.
Ryan has 1, so you also have 2.
I got
There's-
Big Ange.
there's 6
Oh, no, wait, it
questions,
was
yeah.
a 2-part question, was it?
Yeah, no,
He's
you
got
got
the
it right.
32
I
as
think
well.
if that it needs to be that way. So Graham has 3, Joe has 2,
Okay.
Ryan has 1.
Yeah,
and the key
you're
thing
right.
here is that means Graham wins and Ryan loses.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that the key thing?
What a comeback.
Well done, Graham.
Yeah, well done, Graham. Nicely done. Now, the reason why this quiz was a little bit shorter this week, I am very, very nervous about this. But for some reason, Ryan mentioned not knowing how to buy tickets to the World Cup and having no idea how to do so. And I've basically avoided that topic entirely because I don't know either. But it made me think this could be mildly amusing. So this is very much directly inspired by a Gil Ozeri bit from Comedy Bang Bang, in which I think he is like an automated teller taking Scott's reservation. But we're going to try something a little bit silly. We'll see how it goes. With that said, Ryan, if you would, take it away.
Sure, Taylor, as you mentioned there, I've been having some trouble getting World Cup tickets. I just don't know how to do it. But fortunately, I found myself a little phone number which I can call, and I think this is going to have the solution to all of my World Cup ticket-related problems. Here we go. Bloop, 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 bleep, bloop, 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 bleep,
Mr.
bloop.
Bobby.
Ring, 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 ring.
Welcome to the FIFA Super Select 2026 World Cup ticketing hotline. Before we get started, have you paid your complimentary $500 Super Select ticketing hotline fee? If yes, say yes. If no, say I am poor.
I am poor.
Good news! You can still have access to the Super Select World Cup ticketing hotline. Please state your name.
Ryan.
We need a surname.
Ryan Bailey.
Hello,
Still poor.
Ryan Bailey. Please state which FIFA event you are interested in attending, Ryan Bailey.
FIFA Club World Cup 2025.
You selected 2029 Club World Cup. If this is correct, press 1. If this is incorrect, press 1.
I'm going to press 2.
Thank you, Brian. Before we get started, we are obligated to ask how many subscriptions to Trump Steaks you would like. You are not required to purchase any subscriptions, Brian.
Yes.
Thank you for your donation. Before we get started, we are obligated to ask how many subscriptions to Trump Steaks you would like. You are not obligated to purchase any subscriptions, Ryan, but 5 is required. To accept, please give me your saddest, most resigned ahoy hoy. Outstanding. Now that we've started, how would you like to gain your FIFA credits, which can be used to acquire FIFA tickets? Option A, hard-earned dollary dues. Option B, Gianni Infantino foot massage. Option C, for free.
Option D, duel to the death?
We're going to need you to select one of those options, please, sir.
C.
You've selected Gianni Infantino head massage. To confirm your selection, please answer the following. Option A, B. Option B, F. Option C, D. Option 3, Texas with a $sign.
C. I can't remember
Perfect.
which one that was.
Now, before we get started, please confirm you have a valid U.S. passport.
I don't know if I should say that on a broadcast right now.
If you do not have a valid U.S. passport, a FIFA representative, a neighbor you only sort of know, and your daughter's teachers will audit your internet search history. State anything for Daddy Gianni to comply.
Anything for Daddy Gianni. Really want these
Wonderful. On to the main course. Which teams are you most interested in seeing live this summer? A, Scotland, C, England, D, the Club World Cup, or B, Sepp Blatter's one-man burlesque show. Its reviews are scathing.
It's definitely A, Scotland.
Mm-hmm. Great news, Bran. 1.5 tickets are available for Scotland versus Haiti. Will you be attending with one half person?
Yes.
Terrific. Which deal with the devil are you willing to make to secure your 2.5 tickets? A, Harry Kane tears both his and Declan Rice's ACLs 2 minutes into England's first game.
Ooh.
B, MK Dons wins the Premier League. C, Vinnie Jones is never allowed to act again. D, all Chili's are now Applebee's.
I'm going to say C, Vinnie Jones is never allowed to act again because he never did.
You've selected every appointment and is now conducted through Italian bureaucracy. Congratulations. Once we get started, you'll receive 2.5 FanFest tickets to England versus Croatia at the 2026 World Cup with free access to locker rooms before and after kickoff. To confirm your tickets, please enter your valid U.S. passport number now.
Joe, can I borrow your passport number?
I got you. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. Please, Brian Rayleigh, confirm you are a U.S. citizen.
My dog is?
Please, Brian Rayleigh, confirm you are a U.S. citizen.
No.
Goodbye.
Huh. Graham, do you think I got the 1.5 tickets?
2.5.
I hope so, because I'm going to be the half person accompanying to that game.
Which half are you bringing?
Did Ryan just kill Declan Rice or not?
Oh, wow.
I'm confused about how that all ended. Taylor, that was brilliant. You two, both of you. Take a bow. That was delightful.
Thank you. I don't know. It was after midnight, and I was in a loopy mindset. So hopefully it was at least mildly amusing.
That is more straightforward than actually
genuinely
that. I wish I had that process for the last 4 months because that's been better than my experience.
Oh man, I'm no Gillo's area. I'll say that. People should go listen to that one. Ryan, I know that. Screaming Lemon Pfeiffer will make you smile, and it will make no one else smile. But I don't know why that is so funny to me, but it is. So, if nothing else, go enjoy him because he does it better. And that show is terrific. But Ryan, thank you for playing along.
Oh, thank you very much, Taylor. I don't think there's anything much more annoying in life than an automated phone service where you have to press 1, press 4, go back to the main menu, press 0.
Or an Italian one.
All I do is, as soon as I get on those, I just say, representative. Representative until it lets me speak to someone.
Taylor, what you kept saying something about like before we begin or like now we can proceed.
And before that we begin. Yes.
That would fill me with an ungodly amount of rage.
That's
I knew this was fake, right? And I was just sitting there like seething inside. Like, oh, absolutely not.
All right. There we go. I think everybody's ready for the weekend now. Let's clock off from this here podcast. Once again, thank you very much, Taylor Rockwell, for your quizzing and for your improv chops.
Yeah, that was said unconvincingly. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you very much, Graham Rutland, sir.
Thank you, Brian.
And Joe Lowry, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Bobby.
All right, listener, thank you very much indeed for joining us on this one. We'll be back on the feed on Saturday morning with some listener questions. Look out for that on your feed. Bye for now. Bye.